Hi, friends. I'm host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. Tonight I'm here to tell you that when life gives you Myah, make Myah'nade. Well, at least that's what the official story is. You're supposed to do that, apparently. But sometimes if life gives you Myah, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to be like, I'm going to make lemonade out of it. You want to be like, fuck off, universe. That's not what I'm experiencing right now. This isn't really linked to anything going on with me. I mean, it's a little frustrating that the life keeps giving us no trash service. And our trash is piling up. I don't like that at all. That's for sure. But what am I supposed to do? Make garbage aid out of it? I don't think so. You know, I don't like to drink garbage aid, and even the process of making garbage aid gets me filthy. So today, one thing I did do, well, we went into town. We mailed a couple of bills off, and we had lunch at the Happy Burger Diner, which is nice. And then came back here, and not that long after we got back here, the power came back on. So we ran the generator in the morning, and then we ran it again for a little while in the afternoon, and then the power came back on. So that was nice. Now we've got electricity, propane. We paid those couple of bills that we couldn't get our mail for a while, so we want to make sure that we're not late paying our bills and stuff. But I guess I've been thinking a little bit about Hero Lamb, who last night came in and talked about being badly betrayed by somebody, and basically how anything I might say about it would, thank you, Alec. God bless you too. Anything I might say about it would be inadequate and even reductive in some way. Because I mean, when you experience some really bad event, there's not really any words that can salvage the situation. It's not like keep a positive attitude is going to help if something very substantial happens. She says, somebody close to her betrayed her. I'm not exactly sure, or him. I'm not sure if Hero Lamb's a he or a she. Regardless, they didn't provide any detail of the betrayal, but could be betrayal of a romantic partner, In which case, it's not the end of the world, but it definitely feels like it. I was cheated on by my first wife, and it took me a while to get over it, but eventually I did. The thing is, I didn't even like the woman, but I definitely required her to be faithful, and when she wasn't, it was an ontological wrecking ball. So, any kind of betrayal of significance, whether it's sexual fidelity or something else, it's probably going to feel the same. If you placed a lot of weight in the relationship and your capacity to trust that person, and then they prove to you that you can't trust them, that can be really devastating. Alex T says, I think the same. I don't like to pretend that there is a word I can say that will make things better for a person in the situation. Yeah. And, we have these broad homilies like, if life gives you lemon, make lemonade. But if you're somebody who perceives your own path through life as a succession of instances of life giving you lemons, and then at some point you're going to say, okay, what the fuck? Why do I always have to make lemonade and other people get better fruit, you know? Especially if you're attempting to be positive throughout the whole thing and expecting that to make a big change or difference, then at some point you're just going to be like, fuck lemonade, I'm not making any more lemonade, no matter how many lemons life gives me. I'm just going to throw these lemons in the trash. So, anyway, Hero Lamb has been on my mind a little bit. Because, you know, they're going through some shit of some significance. Lemon melon.
Hey, lemon melon.
If life gives you lemon melon, make lemon melonade. Your spirit animal is a snake. A spitting cobra. And you keep it in your pants. Fly guy. How are you this evening? Are you feeling fly? It's important to feel fly. If you're heading out for a night on the town especially, you've got to look and feel your best. And the best a person can look or feel is fly. The other possibility is fresh. You can be fresh and fly.
Mm.
You could be fresh but not fly, or you could be fly but not fresh. But I think getting both in the same package is ideal. Now, I was wearing a pair of pants today, for which the zipper always comes down for some reason.
Oh.
Those jeans, the zipper, even when the button with the belt and everything, the zipper keeps coming down.
That's weird.
And so, naturally, I spent the day in terror that somebody might come up to me and say, X, Y, Z, examine your zipper. You're both your flesh. Oh. I'm flesh, I guess. Because I'm definitely fresh. And I'm fly. And I'm also fantastic. So I'm fleshtastic.
And it's pretty fleshed out.
Yeah. Magine. Lol, love y'all.
Thanks, Magine.
Magine. Magina and I are going to the gynecologist. Dr. Falsey has finally confirmed the COVID that was leaked from the Wuhan lab was man-made. Well, I told you guys when the dominant narrative was pushing hard that it was definitely not.
Oh, I can't see how anyone would think that it wasn't. Really.
Yep, it was man-made. Oh, it was made by some Chinese man.
Yeah, and because it was like Year of the Rat, I wouldn't be surprised if they just.
We're just like, what the fuck? Why did I just let those go? That'll be fine.
Yeah.
These are non-alcoholic beers. This is St. Pauli's Girl non-alcoholic.
Yeah. We found out, was it both of us, that if you have 0.5% alcohol, right? Because it's
It's 0.5% or less.
Yes. But if you have a 0.5 alcohol in your drink and you have a breathalyzer in your car, that it still picks up on the alcohol somehow.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about drinking the amount of alcohol that's in a non-alcoholic beer.
No. There's no reason to.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter how fast I work. If I could pound these things as fast as I wanted, I would never get a buzz. Yeah, I actually prefer the non-alcoholic beers that have a little bit of alcohol in them. I don't necessarily avoid 0.0, but you know, I like kombucha that's got more than nothing but less than 0.5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
My spirit animal is a spirit, and it's the spirit of an animal.
Does it change?
Well, I used to have a regular spirit animal, but then it died. So now my spirit animal is a spirit. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's the spirit of an animal. When I ask it what kind of animal it is, it says, if you need to ask, then you don't need to know. It's very enigmatic. You did guided meditation last night to meet your spirit animal? Imagine a snake. That's your spirit animal. Is that how it went? Eliana, I'm the blue tiger from the black monkey. I don't think there are any blue tigers.
No.
But you know what? You can be one if you want. You get to be a blue tiger. So it's been kind of a kind of an odd day. You know, we started out without any power. I fired up the generator. I discovered that the generator actually does not power the whole house. It just powers the things that they thought were necessary to power. The upstairs light, everything in the kitchen. But I mean, we can power the TV and the internet. We have to run a separate line, and it doesn't power the central heating, which is fine. It's not like it was cold today or anything. But we were obviously very pleased that the cable that we got that guy fixed worked, and that the system works as it's supposed to. You know, if I had thought about it more, I should have anticipated that it was only going to power the things that are in the generator circuit breaker box that are named. So names in there: refrigerator, the stove, the hood lights on the stove, the microwave, the trash compactor, um, and the upstairs lights. But nothing else that's in the house, like your wall outlets and shit like that, is actually powered by the generator. So for things that are plugged into the wall outlets, such as the TV and the internet, then we have to run an extension cord from the generator. Not a huge big deal, but it's just not as complete a panacea as I anticipated it being, which is fine. I'm still nevertheless very happy that it all worked and went off without a problem. You know, we had so many problems with dealing with that power outage stuff so far, and the generator. It was just nice that everything worked as planned first try this morning. You know, but then we went into town, had a nice little trip into town. We got, I don't know, well, partway down Triangle Road, which is quite a distance from our house, when we realized we had forgotten the bills that we were taking into town to pay. So we had to come back to the house, get to pick up those bills. Went to Happy Burger Diner, went to the post office, got some mail. Came back here. I made an ashtray out of a log so that I now have an ashtray that is at approximately the same height as the little wooden fence along the walkway, rather than a bucket at my feet, you know. And I think it came out pretty good considering I didn't really do anything at all except just I got a drill with a like a router bit, I guess they're called. It may not be called router bits, but they're like digger bits. They start off with a point and then they get wide here so that they carve out a hole, a circular hole. It's kind of like a extra wide drill bit, you know. Spade bits. They're called spade bits, I think. Anyway, I used a couple different spade bits to dig out a hole in the top of this log that the power company people had cut up into logs when they took it off the power lines, and then which Chad scooped and moved over to the side. So I grabbed one of those logs. They seemed like to be the right height. It had a pretty flat bottom. You call them licorice babies? Spade bits. Sounds cool. Anyway. Fly guy, I didn't catch that. You keep those racist jokes. That's not allowed. Um, it took me too long to process that. Okay, so anyway, and it was flat enough on the bottom. It just stands up where I wanted it to stand. I put a little bit of rocks around it so to just give it, I don't know, make the illusion of being less likely to fall over. And I'm quite pleased with it. No, I will not do that. Of course not. What am I? Your serving winch? Jock Anime says, my friend is confused about being ISFP or INFP. Could you write a summary and like comment on one of my videos? I would get it now, but I'm with friends right now. No, I will not be at your service in that fashion. Sorry. I've got 7,000 videos. You should look up the topic on my channel search.
Yeah, there's definitely something that you can find.
I know, that's what I said too when I read your comment internally. I said, ew, what an ass. Would you like to see my ashtray? Sure you would. You'd love to see my ashtray. Oh, Eric, please. Can we see your ashtray? Okay. But I know what's coming next. You're going to want to touch my ashtray. And you have to form a single file line. Sounds like something's done. I heard the telltale beep, 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 beep of something being done. Trouble. Oh, why are you sitting outside? Whoa, can't you tell that it is cold? Whoa, 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 colder. So here's my ashtray. So here's this log here. I scooped out a hole in the middle of it and I put sand from one of the sandbags there. Now, instead of having a bucket on the ground, I can stand here as per Myah, and then as per Myah, here's the ashtray. You can't see it because it's not high enough up, but I just stand here and put it out right here. And I don't have to bend over. I don't have to look at an ugly bucket. This tree was naturally occurring log from the storm. Reuse, renew, and recycle. I renewed, reused, repurposed, recycled, and reinvigorated this log. Also retarded its growth. Jock Anime, the easiest way to define ISFP for your friend would be to Google Star Wars MBTI chart. Presumably, Jock Anime wants to be accurate, though. The difference is as simple as ISFPs have no extroverted intuition. INFPs have too much. Not too much, but second slot. They use it's. They think everything's a nail because it needs their hammer. So instead of nail, they always think it's a good idea to ideate more. It's their basic tool function at first of things. You ask an ISFP questions or have a conversation with them. It's like having a conversation with a rock. You ask them a question, they give you a straightforward enough answer. Maybe they hum a hobbit, and then they stop. Or nobody would ever call an ISFP loquacious. Don't be so loquacious. It's bothering me. You keep talking and talking and talking, and I don't like it. Someone's much more likely to call an ISFP laconic. Both are likely to be called effervescent. Effervescent with the bubbles of spring. Effervescent sounds like a horrible 90s serious band. Like Pearl Jam or something. Jeremy's spoken. Horrible. Hi, Acacia. Is that stuff okay, or are you drinking it purely as a joke? This is non-alcoholic beer. The NA stands for non-alcoholic. That is an ESG compliant ashtray. Yeah. It's Jeremy smoking grass again? Uh-oh. He's gonna get in trouble. They should send him to Mercy Medical Center. They do an excellent job there of treating cannabis addiction. Once I was enslaved by my cannabis addiction. Thanks to Mercy Medical Center, I now have to go to crazy camp once a week. Thank you, Mercy Medical Center, for setting me free. You seen the trailer for the new Peter Pan remake? No. Is it Peter Pan? This time it's personal. And he hunts down and murders Captain Hook and all the members of his crew. It's kind of like those movies with Keanu Reeves on. What is it? John Wick. That's the new Peter Pan. He's had enough of Captain Hook. And he's ready to bang Wendy now, too. He's started to grow up a little bit. He's like, all right, Fuck this pirate dude, and also Wendy. Let's go. Let's go back to your bedroom. I'll fly in through your window. Penis first.
It's a good way of flying in from there.
Yeah. I'm here, Wendy. Peter. Not tonight. I've got to babysit again. You always have to babysit. Well, you know, if you didn't take such a long time, you're always like, I gotta fly straight through till morning. Like, but it's midnight. Sun doesn't come up for like 6 hours. I need to sleep. And he says, well, what can I say? I'm a virile man in green tights. Anyway, Wendy and Peter go on to have 3 kids. Unfortunately, Peter develops a drinking problem later in life. Wendy divorces him, takes everything, and he discovers that Captain Hook is still alive. They become best friends, and Peter finally comes out of the closet and admits that he's always had a hook fetish.
Did they have a female playing Peter Pan?
What cold place are we at? We moved. Is it Patricia Pan, the transracial feminist retelling of Peter Pan? We moved to Mariposa. We live in a place called Mariposa Pines, more broadly called Jerseydale, in Mariposa County. There's no cities in Mariposa County, so we put on our mail just Mariposa. Do you want to go outside again?
Thanks, Acacia.
Outside kitty the whole time? Then go outside. You pest. He just meows at me to go open the door, and then he doesn't even want to go outside.
Oh my god. He's probably ready for bed.
No, I think Capillo's outside, and
he's falling.
he doesn't like the fact that she's outside. He doesn't want to go outside himself, but you know, he can be a little controlling, a little bossy. He likes to sit right in the passageways between rooms and stuff, so that Capillo has to go around the long way.
Yeah, she like sneaks around him.
Yeah. He's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Rachel's hair looks mega pretty. Because she got it at Burt's Mega Mall. It's a motorcycle store in Los Angeles. I bought a motorcycle there. My last motorcycle. I got it there. And you know what? I was pretty happy with it. It was a decent commuter bike. It was a big commuter bike. It was comfortable. It had floorboards instead of pegs. And I rode it back and forth to work a lot, you know. It's got a premiere in Disney Plus instead of theaters, though. Meow. Meow.
Meow.
Trouble wants to go outside or not.
I don't think you do.
You just want to meow.
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 Meow. What a handsome man. What a good kitty. There he is. Meow.
Meow. Yes, we know. We know Pee-Pee's outside.
Trouble has all of the meows in the kitty meowchestra. He can communicate lots of different emotions with his meows.
Oh, yeah.
meow to you as well, Eric. I reciprocate your meow. Meow.
Meow.
Trouble does as well. Mariposa County looks beautiful. Good for you. Thank you, Cosmic Pinstar. Yes, it's quite lovely around here. We're just unbearing from a bunch of snow we had, but the snow was followed in rather short order by a bunch of rain. So the yeah, it's true, Mr. Bobby. You're right. Trouble's the dominant partner in our gay relationship.
Yes.
But you know, I could only fight it for so long before he said to give in. Okay, Trouble, fine, you win. Both very are the same
Yeah,
way. We're like,
we are.
well, what are you gonna do? Trouble's being Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he considers himself the boss of things around here, and he behaves like it with such commitment to the role that the rest of us just get gaslighted into believing it.
Yeah. Definitely I gaslighted into believing it.
You know, Capia's been super affectionate lately.
That's good. That's a good sign.
You know, she always comes up here and gets pets from both of us, and she seems very happy.
She does seem very happy.
She's a happy kitty who's always meowing around with a smile on her face. Trouble made a mess at the bar last night. You kept making excuses for him. He had a long day at work. Didn't help. He did have a reasonably long day at work today. And when he came home, he seemed like he had had a good day at work. But, you know, I think he was very happy to see the sunshine. Yeah, the Mariposa air may be doing her good, but I think what Capio really appreciates is just having a big, comfortable house to move around in, and having a litter box in the garage that she can use so she doesn't have to go outside to go to the bathroom if it's cold. She's very SI, you know. Trouble totally ruined the vibe at the gay bar. Well, yeah, he has a tendency to go from, hey, I love you, to, now you're bleeding.
Yes, he does.
He's been arrested on domestic violence charges several times, but the charges have never stuck. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, what happens is whoever it is he's violent towards ends up pleading with the police not to prosecute him because he uses his ENFJ charms. There's always the odd chance he's going out for a daily round of hookers and cocaine. That's not unlikely. He does have cat AIDS. So he probably shouldn't do that, but, you know, he's trouble. I ask him that so often, Bobby. Trouble, why are there bloodstains in your underwear? Anyhow. So, then after we got home and I made that ashtray, then we watched some of the first basketball game. And throughout this time, we were also intermittently doing little chores, like taking the trash out. I cleaned the counter.
I've been doing laundry.
She's been doing laundry. She did some dishes, that sounds like.
Yeah, I've for the first time, well, second time using the dishwasher.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The first time we used the dishwasher, I made the mistake of putting regular dish soap from the sink into it, and probably too much of it, because we had a big foam thing. Like, all these soap bubbles were coming out the sides of the dishwasher and getting onto the floor and stuff. We're hopeful that that's the only problem was that you're not supposed to use dish soap in the dishwasher. You're supposed to use dishwasher soap, you know. If you use dish soap, you get a big explosion of bubbles. So we're hoping that's the only problem that it has, and that now that we've got dishwasher,
Oh no.
is it leaking still?
Yeah. Like,
all right, well,
major.
turn it off. Okay, so there's no reason to use the dishwasher. I will show you what we're looking at here, friends at home. Ashtray. Either build your own ass-shaped ashtray kit or ashtray. Big name bedpan manufacturer.
Oh man, I really wish this.
See, everybody? That's kind of a big mess.
Yeah.
Well, we may have to get a new dishwasher.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like, I don't want there to be this broken thing in that spot right there, so.
No, we could get a new one, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to put there with a dishwasher. Let's make sure it's the exact same size and everything. If we can find one, I think we should do it because it's better than having a broken dishwasher.
Yeah.
We could try to get somebody out here to repair the dishwasher, but that seems like a pipe dream. At this point, we're probably just gonna have to get a new one. That's what they're gonna tell me. If I were to get a repairman out here, it'd be like, well, it's gonna cost you $800, which is the same as a new one or something like that, you know. Is it the reaction to heat that causes the overflow of the suds? I don't know. We got the same amount of suds this time. So I have no explanation for it because I'm sure Rachel didn't use dish soap again. There might still have been dish soap in there from before, I guess. Regardless, it's leaking too much. So I guess it must be broken. It's the soap, I think. Cosmic Pit Store, you still think it's the wrong soap?
Going outside, Mr. Trouble?
Do you think there's residual dish soap in there from before, Rachel?
Be nice. Please just let her in.
Using the suds to mop the floor is a good idea. Let me get the mop. That's a really good idea. Because you know what? We got some stickiness over here by the trash can. That, where we took a trash bag out the other day, it was leaking. So I'm going to mop over there. Okay, so get some of this suds here, as per Myah, and then we'll bring it over here where it needs to vacuum, where it needs to get unsticky, and it'll go like that. Okay, now we're going to come over here to the sink and do this. Didn't really soak up that much liquid, I guess. So, we get more liquid from over here. And come over here again. Then I'm going to mop over here. Get any possible stickiness up. Okay. Now I'm going to get a paper towel and clean that. Alright. Okay. Now the pièce de résistance of my floor mopping exercise, and of course, the foot shuffle dry. The foot shuffle dry is a technique that begins with 2 paper towels and 2 feet. It didn't get very wet because it was mostly suds and not very much water. But, well, picked up a little stuff. You can see right here. Yeah. Anyway, that'll do for now. What do I look like, a cleaning lady? Yes, Eric, you do. You look like my cleaning lady, Myah. She's from Venezuela, and she loves to clean. Okay. I'm sorry I was lying. I don't really have a cleaning lady named Myah from Venezuela, nor have I ever had such a cleaning lady. We did have a cleaning lady from some of my childhood, but the cleaning lady I remember was Polish. She was not from Venezuela. I don't remember what her name was, but she had begun as my grandmother's cleaning lady. Has anyone ever been to the gay Venezuela? Venezuela? So it's just for gay men then. Okay. Keep that in mind, because as a lesbian, I'm not going to want to go there. I guess that's what Venezuela is for. Well, that's why there's 3 different countries. There's regular Venezuela, there's gay Venezuela, and there's Venezuela. Oh, Venezuela, why is it that you never make the World Cup? You're in South America. Get with the program. You know, you see Uruguay in the World Cup periodically. You see Brazil there all the time. Argentina's in there. Where are you, Venezuela? Colombia's got a storied history in the World Cup. When you call out the name Venezuela, crickets. The Falkland Islands kick so much ass every year in the World Cup. Are the Falkland Islands their own country, or are they part of Venezuela, or are they still owned by England? Yeah, those islands that are like way the fuck over there, they're part of my country. They're nowhere near your country. They're part of Britain. I don't know how close they are to Argentina. Those are our islands. We found them. All your Falkland Islands belong to me. Rihanna is from Barbados. She's Caribbean? Who cares? So, she's a Caribbean. That just means she was conceived and born on the ride Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. First, they had sex on it, and 9 months later, they went back to give birth on it. She was then raised in the rocking chair house from the ride. She lived back in the ride with the banjo playing guy, before the first waterfall. You could see the restaurant from there, but she wasn't allowed to eat there. He said, "No, Rihanna, go back to your banjo hut." And she said, "But why?" I said, "Because you're from the Caribbean." Caribbeaner? She's a Caribbeaner? Is that what they're called? Caribbeananimida, Ninibida. You have to console the dishwasher until it leaks are totally a natural thing that occurs as you grow up. Well, I think our dishwasher's all grown up at this point. It's not a young dishwasher anymore. And dishwasher years are the same as dog years. So, it should have been dead a long time ago.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's past its prime. Like cottage cheese from 3 months ago. Would you like some 3-month-old cottage cheese? It's been sitting in the fridge. What do you mean no? Just eat it. Well, I don't want to eat it because it's so old, but I need to get rid of it. So, could you eat it? What if I put a pineapple circle on top of it?
How'd you get in, Capio? Did you let her in?
I let her in, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got canceled? What does that mean? That his show got canceled? That people got mad at him? Well, Yes, there is more weed in my heart. Let it grow and grind it too. Then use a little scoop to put a lug or two in your bowl. 'Cause yeah, there's a little weed in my heart tonight. And if you would like a little more, well, here you go. Yeah, smoke it so you'll feel like Don Ho. Would you like to feel like Don Ho? One of Hawaii's most famous musicians. Don Ho is known for the song Tiny Bubbles. Well, I am a spokesperson for Black America. I'm not the only one. You know who else is a spokesperson for Black America? Matthew Broderick.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And also the guy from Cheers.
Ted Danson?
Yeah.
Wow.
He, the black community really embraced him. At one time, he went to that awards show in blackface. They said, Ted Danson is really on our side.
Wait, he went to a party blackface?
Yeah, when he was with Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi let him?
I'll Google it. Let's see what it says on the internet about it. Well, Matthew Broderick is like Michael J. Fox without the Parkinson's disease. Okay. What's about to Google? Oh yeah. Ted Danson black face.
To roast Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay, right here.
Oh.
Filed under Ted Danson makes a poor decision. So I guess they only dated for like a year. From 1992 to 1993, Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg were briefly an item. Oh, what's the big deal? I mean, seriously.
Meghan Markle must forget that, or must not know that Prince Harry went to a Halloween party dressed up as a Nazi.
I remember that. Reed, that's true, really? Matthew Broderick killed a guy in a car accident in 86 or 87? Oh, yeah, the Ted Danson thing is definitely real. We were... Mr. Bobby, yes, we also watched that episode of South Park. I'll pull it up again.
Oh my gosh, it's just so mean.
So here's the... Well, let's see here. Let me go to images. See if I can copy all of this. This is too much stuff, though. How about this? Yeah. Alright, this article is fine. Yeah. 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 And there's one last piao that needs to be piaoed. Piao. There. There's an article for you. There's an article for you. It's the article, not sexual, just romantic. The tragedy occurred while Matthew was dating Jennifer Grey. She played his sister on Ferris Bueller. That's how they led to the end of their relationship.
Wait, what led to the end of their relationship?
Matthew Broderick car crash in 8697 that killed somebody, I guess. I never heard about that.
Me neither.
Let's Google. Matt Broderick car crash killed someone. Let's see. On August 5th, 1987, while driving a rented BMW 316 on the Tempo Road outside Tempo, Northern Ireland, Broderick crossed into the wrong lane and collided head-on with the Volvo. The driver, Anna Gallagher, 28, and her mother, Margaret Doherty, 63, were both killed instantly. Huh, wow, that's fascinating. Matthew Broderick and Jennifer Gray have rarely spoken about the 1987 car crash that claimed the lives of 2 women, but that all changed. That all changed when the Dirty Dancing actress Candice Lee opened up about the fatal accident in May 2022. I was the sole living witness because Matthew had survived, but he was unconscious and had amnesia and was very badly injured. The out of the corner author revealed to Entertainment Tonight about the crash, which happened on a rainy night in Ireland with Broderick behind the wheel and the actress in the passenger seat. The Ferris Bueller Day Off co-stars were in a relationship at the time. I thought he was dead, Gray continued. I didn't even know there were 2 other women who were tragically killed at the time. It's just something that you just don't come back from in the same way. She further told the outlet that the head-on collision was one of the, quote, top 3 traumas in my life, maybe top 1. The fatal crash, which happened just days before Dirty Dancing was released, changed Gray's life forever. It's very hard to describe when you have a near-death experience and are present for the death of other people. Being alone on a country road in the middle of nowhere with nobody else around or conscious was pretty terrifying. It led to so many other things in my life. No. Just get away. Broderick, who pled guilty to the charge of careless driving and paid a $175 fine, but was never charged with vehicular manslaughter, was frantically worried about the victims of the crash immediately following the collision. He kept saying, "Did I hurt them? Did I hurt them?" A member of the fire brigade recalled at the time. "I think about the family in Ireland all the time," Gray noted in her interview. It was extremely difficult coming to grips with what happened. Broderick, who met with the surviving family members, confessed in 2002, though he noted that the passage of time and therapy has helped. For his part, Martin Doherty, Margaret's son and Anna's brother, has forgiven the Broadway actor for the fatal accident. "He didn't kill my mother and sister deliberately," he said in 2002 by the New York Post. "There were strong feelings at the time, but I've since forgiven him and feel no anger toward him." Wow. That's very fascinating. I don't remember the day. The Broadway actor has no memory of the day of the crash he revealed in 2002, per the New York Post. "I don't remember even getting up in the morning. I don't remember making my bed. What I first remember is waking up in the hospital with a very strange feeling going on in my leg." He had suffered a concussion, broken ribs, a broken leg, and more. He was reportedly in the hospital for 4 weeks following the incident. "It was extremely difficult coming to grips with what happened. By the time I felt better about the terrible experience." Huh. "One minute we're going down the road and music is playing, and the next minute it's all different," Gray later recalled. "I couldn't be fearless after that," she said, noting the irony in the timeline of events as her hit film opened just days later. "I became America's sweetheart within 5 days of the accident," she said. How weird. The collision was so intense that ligaments were ripped from the back of my neck. I'd have a headache for 4 days where I could barely open my eyes. She eventually needed spinal surgery. There was no answer because it was an accident, Grace said, and Broderick was a great driver and nobody was drinking. It was just an accident and it was tragic. You know, but I bet she was blowing him as he was driving. And that's why they crashed. Just speculation. Because, you know, they were dating at the time. He was an excellent driver. They weren't drinking. So what else could explain it? You know, just arbitrarily, suddenly swerve into the other lane. Why was she so much less hurt than everybody else? Because she wasn't sitting up. She had her head in his lap.
That would be enough for someone to be like, I'm gonna call it quits on this relationship.
On the nose, Eric. Your intuition's right on the nose there, I
Yeah, I
think.
think it is too.
This has been something talked about for years. Her neck ligaments. And that explains the neck ligaments too. Because the back of her neck suffered an injury as his penis was thrust forcibly against the back of her throat. And that explains the neck ligament injuries. I've never heard of it before. This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
This is the first time that I'm hearing about it too. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like fucking shook.
It feels like somebody's been keeping the secret truth of things from me. Because they obviously did a good job of not making it a big story at the time.
Yeah, they did.
I guess probably everybody felt like, you know, it seems legit, so me. You could sense
reminder.
you could sense the great romantic chemistry between them when they played siblings in Ferris Bueller. Huh.
That's weird because I definitely didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. Regardless of why or how exactly it happened, it certainly wasn't intentional. And it's not like they both walked away with a couple scratches while the other two ladies died. He was fucked up by that accident. Bad, you know. He suffered some serious injuries.
It like pretty much did the die in the car crash. Rubenar.
Oh yeah, their relationship died in the car crash for sure because they ended it. It does explain the gap. It does explain his weird disappearance, you know. Yeah, that's sad. Well,
Now I have a new fear.
that Matthew Broderick's gonna crash into you?
No, that. No.
The car crash is gonna happen?
Ugh.
Darling, don't worry. We're not in Ireland. And Matthew Broderick, I've already talked to him about it. I explained, listen, do not crash into us.
Maybe that's why he lives in New York City, because, like, you don't have to drive. I mean, if I had the money and I didn't have to live in a city where I didn't have to drive, I'd be there.
You'd be where?
In a city where I didn't have to drive if that happened.
If what happened?
Like, if, like, I can see him not wanting to drive anymore, Matthew Broderick.
Oh, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see.
So, like, he lives with Sarah Jessica Parker in New York City, and I'm not surprised that he lives there because he can take the subway and
Right.
not.
Okay, side chick, a good way to process this question of this policy prescription that I'm offering as an affirmation is just to remember we start with the status quo. The Supreme Court has issued a ruling that impacts municipalities directly, especially on the West Coast. It functions like an unfunded mandate. We need to make policy within the context of that status quo. So start there when you're doing your analysis. The question isn't whether or not homeless services should be provided or not, right? The Supreme Court has mandated that they do provide at least housing if the municipalities are going to return the public space to the public, right? So,
Sure, it did. I mean, if that happened, I mean, I don't know. I don't even like the subject. I really don't like the subject. It's really sad.
the subject of death. What
I
about
guess so.
what about if we're talking about the death of King George from England? If it's long enough ago, does it no longer be sad?
Yeah, I don't, like, no, it's how the person died usually that freaks me out. Like,
Well, I know that both of us have been, to a certain extent, you know, Jennifer Gray said, I couldn't be fearless anymore after that incident. I felt that way after, I still feel that way somewhat, for sure, after my dad shot himself. Um, if Delilah doesn't pick up the phone, I can't help but worry. And I never used to like worry about shit like that, you know? Once you've experienced kind of like getting sudden, dramatic, unexpected news of a death, you feel as though the door's open. Like you might get more of those calls or more of those experiences, you know?
yeah.
Well, anyway, let's talk about something a little more cheerful. Let's talk about the time that an actor drove somewhere and did not get into a car crash.
Well, I know that Keanu Reeves is known for helping people, like, on the side of the road and stuff. Octavia Spencer, who's an actress, um, when she was first in Hollywood, her car broke down, and all of a sudden, vroom vroom, who comes up? Keanu Reeves, and is like, "Hey, you look like you're in trouble. Can I help out?" Like, no joke. Isn't that cool? She wasn't
Yeah,
famous
that
at
is
the
cool.
time.
What I mean by return to the public side chic is if I don't know if you've been to Los Angeles, San Francisco, or any of those cities, but you've got homeless encampments occupying large sections of sidewalk. The public needs to be able to access that sidewalk to walk upon it, right? In the status quo, law enforcement officials it's illegal for them to, they're not allowed to move homeless people off of public space unless they have housing to move them into. The point is, you have really strong feelings about this, but you don't even know, you haven't researched it at all. You don't know anything about the Supreme Court decision, which is the central driving engine of everything I'm saying, right? So you shouldn't have such a strong opinion about it since you don't know anything about it. I remember Joaquin Phoenix got into a car accident near his house. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard some actor came to his aid. The policy advocacy I'm making is one that shifts the burden from an unfunded mandate by the Supreme Court to municipalities back onto the federal government, since they're the one who created that case law. Okay, that's fine, said she. I just didn't. I just don't really feel like arguing right now with somebody. You know, it's but that last experience with T Jump was frustrating. It's very frustrating. It's like that guy didn't want to listen at all to anything. He didn't want to learn anything. He didn't want to consider anything, you know?
It does kind of look like that. She's grooming herself, but when my hair is wet, she likes to like bite nibble,
and push her face against it. She uses the Jutsu kitty face push, which is one of the most powerful juices you can use. But you know, she's been a ninja for a long time, and she's studied under all the greats. Orochimaru. She studied under Jiraiya.
Okay. You're gonna have to tell me which ones they are.
Well, Orochimaru is the snake guy. Jiraiya is
the snake guy? Oh, with the long black hair?
Yeah. Jiraiya is the pervy sensei who writes books about women in bathhouses or whatever. And then, of course, Kakashi. She trained under Kakashi as well. Kakashi's the one with one eye, always covered, and a mask over his face.
And he's
got gray hair.
INTP.
Probably, but he's not. You might be thinking of Shikamaru.
Shikamaru, yeah.
He's the more classic INTP character from Naruto.
Yeah, I am thinking of him. I like Naruto.
Random fact: James Cameron originally envisioned River Phoenix to star in Titanic with Kate Winslet, but then River Phoenix had a drug overdose, and he's dead. So now we're back to death.
Yeah.
We just moved away from that. Well, what are you gonna do? You know, it's like people do die sometimes, and that sucks. But if you spend too much time thinking about it, you're wasting your life thinking about the fact that it will eventually end. Yeah, it's a circle of life. Someday I will die, then I will become grass, antelope will eat me, and then lions will eat the antelope. It's the circle of life. That's the circle. There's rumors that it was Johnny Depp who poisoned River Phoenix because he was taking all the jobs from Johnny and Leo DiCaprio. River Phoenix was before Leo DiCaprio was even on the scene, right?
Yeah. No, well, like I guess he was eating Gilbert Grape. DiCaprio.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Side chic. I'll give you the rundown on it right now, and then you can ask me any questions you want. My point is that because of the existing ruling from the Supreme Court and the status quo, we've got municipalities who are legally pushed into creating housing and providing services for homeless people in order to keep encampments off of their public spaces. But what would be preferable, but the outcome of this is that municipalities put more money into that, attract more homeless people, and it's self-defeating. So the solution to this is to redirect whatever funds municipalities are spending on these futile attempts to solve homelessness at the municipal level, and we need to centralize the provision of homeless services and housing and federalize it. And by doing this, we will both eliminate the provision of housing to homeless people in municipalities, and we will make it very easy for municipalities to give transportation tickets, bus tickets, train tickets, or whatever to homeless town. It'll be voluntary. It'll be entirely non-compulsory. And the thing is, it relies on the fact that the same engine that is the problem, causing the problem right now, namely that provision of services attracts the population, which retains the fundamental quality of homelessness in general, because you keep needing to add more services, which just keeps attracting, because not. So the thing is this: by centrally locating it, that same engine applies. It attracts them there, and also it allows municipalities to move people off of public spaces because they have somewhere they can go, namely to this uh, federally run homeless service center. So that's the plan. And if you live on the West Coast, something needs to be done, and that all of the existing policies are not accomplishing anything.
So actually, Mr. Bobby, What's Eating Gilbert Grape came out in '93, and that was way before Basketball Diaries. I don't know if River and Leo were like competing at that point, but it is interesting that What's Eating Gilbert Grape stars both Leonardo DiCaprio and Johnny Depp. That's so. I've never heard that before.
What did it turn out that it was eating Gilbert Grape?
I don't know. I've never watched it. I've not seen a lot of.
I think it was a lion. River died in 1993. Oh, you're right, Rachel, says Bobby. R.I.P. River, says Mac Daddy.
Yeah, so they didn't really.
Life was eating him like it eats us all. People just lame and using it as an ugly, gossipy telephone game. Using what? He died on Halloween too. I remember when he died. I found it sad.
It is sad.
He was so young,
Mm-hmm.
He had such a promising career ahead of him. Yeah, well, I'm not in favor of social programs, welfare state shit, giving a bunch of stuff away. But I'm even less in favor of the federal government mandating municipalities to do it without funding it at all. If the federal government wants to dictate how municipalities are going to deal with this issue, then let them deal with it. It's bullshit.
River was like. I just thought that it sounded a little fishy, so I had to not correct you, but I had to do my own research and see what occurred.
River Phoenix was in that movie The Sandlot. Remember
Is
that?
he?
I think so. Remember that movie?
Yeah, I love that movie.
He's
in that movie?
I think so.
No, he's in Stand By Me.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Stand By Me.
That movie freaked me out so for such a long time because I loved it. But then when they found their friend's dead body, I was like, ah!
Stand By Me?
Yeah, Stand By Me.
There's a dead body in Stand By Me or Stand By Me?
Yeah, there's a dead body in Stand By Me. Mm-hmm.
Everything was fine, and then the children found their dead friend.
Yeah. Well, they go on a hike to find their dead friends. So, like, you're kind of like, they don't know.
How did he
I
die?
don't remember. I don't remember.
Did he die of old age?
That would be great.
River also played young Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he did play the character well. Hit by a train.
Who is it by a train?
The little friend that they're what was that?
What was that?
Capio?
Oh, was it the kitty goer? Might have been the
Maybe.
kitty goer, yeah. Wait, this house makes some strange sounds sometimes. In general, sound kind of travels weird around here, like um, kind of echoes off the canyons, and in this house, it's really difficult to tell where a voice is coming from. Sometimes we hear sounds like that sound. There might have been still more snow falling off the roof. We still have some snow on the roof. You know, could have been a snow thwomp. Have I seen Indian in the Cupboard? No, but I read the book. I liked the book a lot when I was a kid, and I liked it enough that I remember a little bit about it. Does federal government address how homelessness is dealt with on a case of the state itself, or is this set more of a set amount of housing required? No, it's what it is a prohibition by the Supreme Court that applies nationally that disallows law enforcement agencies or officials from any county, municipal level, or whatever from removing people camped out on tents on public sidewalks. And it prevents people from saying, you can't do that.
So I want to CJ, did you know that Mark Wahlberg didn't get along with Leo originally? I didn't know that, but I did know that Kate Moss working on Calvin Klein with Mark Wahlberg didn't like Mark Wahlberg. So that's 2 strikes against him.
Is that back when Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark?
Yeah.
That's a good beginning to Eminem song. Yeah. Back when Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark. The part to Bacardi Dark, and you could. It's a tired attack. It's a good song. Marky Mark, as far as I remember, his first thing was he was in a Calvin Klein ad, right?
Yes, and he was in the Calvin Klein ad with Kate Moss, the supermodel at the time, and she
That was his very first thing, though, right?
Yeah. Besides having the song.
He had a song before he was in the Calvin Klein ad?
Yeah.
So the Calvin Klein ad was just the first thing he had on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he worked with Kate Moss, and Kate Moss was like he was a jerk. Like didn't even like sugarcoat it. She was like, yeah, he was totally full of himself. And that's coming from a supermodel who's probably like inflated ego too.
Well, she might be, or she might be chronically terrified of gaining an ounce or aging a day, you know? It's probably a little harder.
She's scared of gaining an ounce. She literally has said that thin feels better than feeling thin feels better than being thin is being better than like eating or something.
I get high on starvation.
She's got like doing cocaine too.
The only food I need is more cocaine.
Yeah. Basically. That's basically. But we're birthday twins, so. I mean, not twins. Sister. Her birthday sister.
Birthday
She is
sisters.
shorter than most models. She's I think 5'6". She's not tall.
That's why at the modeling shows, people in the audience are always taunting, "Shorty, shorty, shorty, you're such a shorty." At first she was offended, then she realized it was just a bunch of rappers. And they were really just calling her a shoddy. But she beautiful. Listen, Keisha, everyone is incredibly beautiful. Okay? Everyone. Especially me. Just remember that. As your guru, I have wisdom to share with you. Everyone is beautiful. And I'm the most beautiful one of all. I had to learn how to do this in charismatic leader school. You know, when I first told my parents I wanted to major in cult leadership, they were skeptical. They had their doubts about whether it was a wise decision, whether there was even, any jobs left in cult leadership these days. I assured them there was, and there always would be, as long as I could continue to produce great wisdoms like, everyone is beautiful, and so am I. What I want everybody to do right now is to gaze upon my luster. Okay? This is going to fill your soul with all of the bananas that it needs. Bananas is just a slang term I use for solitrons, which are the particle wave elements that comprise a soul. You can call them solitrons, you can call them bananas. They're both in the literature, in the scholarly literature. Are you going to eat those bananas? Is a question most of us probably think they'd like to hear more, Why don't people ask that of me more frequently? Well, the reason is because they know you might think that they mean your soul particles. They don't want to seem like a devil. The devil will eat your soul particles if you give him half a chance. That's why you've got to pray each day towards England and France. And when you're done, and cross yourself, and then offer Amen. At last, you will then rest your head, wiped clean of all your sin. That's a encouraging religious poem for you to remember, recite, and teach to your grandchildren as part of your oral tradition. You know, life's a funny thing. Some of the time. Other times, it's a serious thing. Still other times, it's kind of bland. But regardless, we'll always have beige dawn. And she will always represent the aspirations of a bygone era in which movie stars named their children Beige Dawn and still expected great things of them. What's your name? Beige. No, seriously, what's your name? No, seriously, my name's Beige. Beige, huh? Yeah, I like the color, beige. I see. Well, why don't you go by your middle name? It's Dawn. Your name's Beige Dawn? Yes. Have you ever seen a Beige Dawn? No. Have you? No, but I'm gonna start looking for one now. I'm hopeful now. One day I'll see a Beige Dawn. I'll say, ah, there it is. I'll shoot you a picture of it on your phone. And you'll be like, would you look at that? It's a self-portrait. Well, it wouldn't be a self-portrait. It'd be a portrait of her. A portrait of Beige Dawn. Beige Dawn is also the military code word for when a really bland country invades you. The Isle of Man is invading again. It's going to be a very beige dawn. How beige is your dawn? How beige is your? How beige is? I really need to know. 'Cause I'm living in a world of poo. How beige is your dawn? I need to know how beige is your dawn. Is it as beige as a fawn? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Sonny Bono had a kid named Beige Dawn. That was before he died. Back to death. He died doing what? Crashing into a tree while skiing.
Yeah, that was dramatic.
That's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I can imagine skiing along and be like, oh no, I'm going to crash, but crash directly into a tree. That's, I mean, he must not have been paying attention or something.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna are. Ugh.
Maybe he swerved to get out of your way, Ruben. Thought about that? Have you felt guilty about that your whole life? Wondering if maybe you caused Sonny Bono's ski accident? Maybe you did. Beige Dawn. I wonder what Beige Dawn has been up to. Somebody Google it. Somebody Google Beige Dawn Bono and
Okay,
see what she's been up to. I want to know if she's been up to just like she's a housewife. Is she in politics like her dad was?
Oh no.
Is she a musician? Isn't that how Liam Neeson's wife died too?
Hmm.
Maybe Sonny Bono was Liam Neeson's wife. Herman's right, Bobby. Liam Neeson's wife was taken.
Can't find.
You can't find Beige Dawn?
No.
Hmm.
I'm looking at Reddit right now.
Maybe it's not Sonny Bono, it's somebody else's kid. It might be Richard Dawson's kid. So, Ruben, you get at least 10 points for that one. That was perfect. Who is Chad? Chaz? That's another kid.
That's Bono. Yeah.
That's another Bono kid.
That's Cher and.
But based on maybe thinking of Richard Dawson
Okay.
of the Family Feud. Maybe it was his kid. Yeah, I think it was his kid because I think I remember that from the video I made about Richard Dawson, which is a good video. Not great, but pretty good. It's as pretty good as Shitty Wood. Oh, Kitty Miss. Oh, Miss Kitty Tris. Oh, Christmas tree of Kitty. You are the Christmas tree of Kitty.
I'm not finding anything for Richard Dawson either.
Huh. Well, I don't know.
Oh well.
Well, I'll figure it out later. Yes, the creepy host from Family Feud. He was actually not creepy at all. He did kiss all those ladies, but I made a video about it. And the thing is, he was not at all like a Me Tooer, you know? He was actually quite a loving father, and he had this one wife who broke his heart and left.
Yeah.
And then he never really got with any other chicks for a long time, and then finally he met a contestant on the Family Feud, and he ended up marrying her, and then he stopped kissing other people.
Oh, that's right. Cause I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, when he was doing that kiss thing, it was like the 70s, you know? But he wasn't even pervy at all. It was weird. And in fact,
It is kind of weird.
the network wanted to stop doing it, and so he asked the audience, and like everybody in the audience in the country like wrote in, and it was wildly in favor of him continuing to do it.
So funny.
It doesn't play well contemporaneously, or contemporary. You know, in the current milieu, it doesn't play well, but contemporaneous to its time, it was just one of those things.
Do you need another non-alcoholic?
I do.
What would you like?
I think I'd like a Lagunitas. Yeah, and then he ended up having a different kid with that lady. And he drank a lot. So like he was in, I think, the movie Judge Dredd or something like that. I read some interview where apparently he was like drunk all the time on the set. He'd come out of his trailer with like a thermos of something. You know, it's like what's that guy's name? Get out of here, kid! You bother me. What's that guy's name? He would always have his pineapple juice with him on set, which was actually like gin or something like that. And but everybody called it pineapple juice. W.C. Fields, that's his name. W.C. Fields was a big drunk. You know, there have been a lot of big drunks in history that have nevertheless been successful. by third parties' perspectives. Well, Mr. Bobby, will you stop being so fussy about that stuff? Um, I'm not saying it's not worth being fussy about or something, but just like, just don't seek out so much information about such sordid topics. Um, what was I talking about before things got Myah? Well, I was saying Myah and then Myah and Myah and Myah. So I guess that's all there is to it.
Meow. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Bobby,
Sit there.
it's incredibly poor. It was incredibly poor judgment on her part, and
Such a good kitty friend.
it doesn't play well at all, you know. And it shouldn't. But at the same time, the big difference between making that mistake and actually doing something with a 15-year-old, you know. Well, somebody write the newspaper. Whoopi Goldberg's a hypocrite. I mean, not that I've ever thought I never particularly thought she was a hypocrite, but the point is, she's another person who's underqualified and overconfident to talk about things.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who's famous and thinks therefore their opinion matters a lot or something. I would have gotten that for you, sorry.
It's alright.
It's very annoying because Whoopi Goldberg should be named Boo Goldberg instead of Whoopi. Boo Goldberg would be a better name for her because she doesn't make me want to say Whoopi. She makes me want to say Boo. She's got a bit of I don't know if I quite go this far to say she's the Bill Walton of morning shows, but she's not good. But you know who's also not good is Rosie O'Donnell. She's very much not good. And Ellen, I guess, crashed and burned now, huh?
Yeah.
She got canceled for being a bully, basically, and for being a prima donna.
Yep. Being a bully, I think, more than prima donna.
I can already see your face on the View, and the View hosts coming after you. Or they come after me. They say, bien, 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 bien. I say, ladies, shut the fuck up.
That would be like the best answer.
Get your sassafras out of my sassy ass. Because if anybody's got to be doing the sassing around here, it's I who shall be sassing you.
But James Corden, though, he's British, so he's not really America's sweetheart. So who would be?
There's a lot of America's sweethearts who are British. Like Pierce Brosnan. Or,
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. She's America's sweetheart, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Beatles.
Okay, you're right.
They're America's sweetheart. Bill Clinton. He didn't kill a guy. He merely charmed him to death. You can't blame a man for charming another man to death.
No.
He busted out that saxophone, and the guy was so charmed, he just fell right over and died. Oh my God, you're so charming! Ah! Just like that. It was after that that Bill Clinton was a little more careful about busting out a saxophone. I think Norm Macdonald and Mitch Hedberg are my top two Democratic INTPs. Well, they're both dead, Ruben, so I guess you don't have any top ones anymore. 0 top INTP Democrats. That makes you a racist.
I can see Norm Macdonald being an INTP. I mean, I don't think he was known for touring.
They're in your top two them INTPs. Why would you put them there, though? Maybe it should just be there. Your top two INTPs without anything between 2 and INTPs. Oh, because you put a period? I see.
I thought you meant Democratic INTP, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, we both did. If he wanted to say Dem, he needed to put an apostrophe before the D. Then we would have understood that he was speaking in a southern accent. I didn't fight Nam for this, but you didn't go to Nam. I know, that's why I said I didn't fight Nam for this. Pretty good joke. Not a bad joke. It scores better than terrible. He's pretty funny, that Mitch Hedberg guy.
Yeah.
ENFJ about Mitch Hedberg? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just don't know. And maybe I never will.
I'm starting to think that Norm Macdonald is an INTP. But
Yeah, I think Norm Macdonald's on INTP. He was. Yeah, sad stuff. A lot of death in tonight's stream.
That's so funny because I picked the death card for my tarot today.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
So it's pretty on.
you know, our dream of getting the trash picked up today died as well.
Yeah, it did.
Well, hopefully we'll get it picked up tomorrow. Okay, I think I'm about ready to wrap this up. I'm tired. I think I'm about ready for bread. How about you? You're not that tired.
No, I'm not that tired.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. Do you want me to? You want to keep streaming, or will you turn it off?
I'll keep streaming for a little bit.
Okay. Sure. When you're done, you just gotta push this X here. And I'm not going straight to bed. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and then I'll go to bed. So when you want to stop it, you just push this. I'll put this down here. You just push this X right here.
Okay, I see. Cool, yeah. I'm glad, Boba. Good night, young Eric.
Good night, Uncle Ruben. I'd like to stay up with you grown-ups, but I get fussy if I don't get enough sleep.
So do I. I think I definitely do get hangry, but I get more fussy when I don't get sleep. Sleep is pretty big on my list of things to do. I like how you have to get another one? Hi, Mr. Bobby. I have not seen the new Little Mermaid trailer. I used to. Hey, CJ O'Connell. I used to. I used to be obsessed with The Little Mermaid as a 5-year-old / 6-year-old.
Well, I hope they make the little mertrans.
Trans? Oh, that would be a 2023 update for sure.
Or the little her.
Oh.
It's a hermaphroditic mermaid.
You'd be interested in my opinion and commentary on it? It makes me want to watch it. I could post a video of my reaction to it, sure. I saw The Little Mermaid on Broadway and I was so disappointed. Like, they killed it with Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, so like I just assumed that they were gonna kill it with Little Mermaid, but they like added songs in and stuff, and they changed a lot of it, and I didn't like Little Mermaid on Broadway. It wasn't my jam. So I'm like I said, I'm a big Little Mermaid fan. So I'll be definitely a critic when it comes to watching the trailer. We'll see. I remember when they were talking about like who was gonna play Ariel, and Lindsay Lohan like either tweeted or Instagrammed a picture of her, and like she was basically telling Disney like, hey, I have red hair and I'm a Disney kid. I can make one about Peter Pan too. Peter Pan and Wendy, they're calling it. Huh. That's interesting. They better do Under the Sea. That's like the hit song from that movie. Under the Sea gets everyone rocking. And also in the movie, they say my name. Like when Eric and Ariel are on the boat and they're on a date, and like Ariel lost her voice so she can't talk, and Prince Eric is trying to like guess her name. He says Rachel as one of the guesses, and I was like, oh my god, that's my name. But I always like related to I don't know, just like a lot of like magical stuff happened with me and The Little Mermaid, and also Snow White. Snow White was my first movie ever. Yeah, I wasn't really into the Lion King remake either. I thought it was fine, but I didn't think that it needed to be done. I thought they kept to the story at least pretty well. But I was like, I still would rather watch the cartoon version. I don't know. Hey, Miss Fortune. The cartoons give a better acting performance. It's good to see you too, Miss Fortune.
You want to go to bed, Trouble?
They'll never top the original. Nice soundtrack too, Elton John, etc. It was all Elton John, really. That soundtrack.
Lion King?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not one of the better soundtracks of a Disney movie, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
Not nearly as good as Aladdin or Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast.
Those are three that are better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the original is good, the remake is horrible. Yeah, like I had a streaming service, I forget what it's called now, where like my brother-in-law at the time, he's not my brother-in-law anymore, but when he was my brother-in-law, he shared his streaming service and he would upload movies and stuff, and a lot of them were like current movies, and he was just into movies, so he would download like pretty much anything and everything, almost. And I got to see The Lion King. Oh wait, or did I go to the movie theater? Oh my god, if I saw it in theater and I thought I saw it on TV, that means that I really didn't like it that much. I think I saw it in theater. I thought I saw it on the streaming service that my brother-in-law had, but um, I think I went to the theater. Excuse me. I mean the whole like Myah and Myah, I don't know what they say, but you know where they like lift him up and stuff. It's pretty epic, I think, in my opinion. I guess I don't know how old I was. The circle of life, and it moves us all. Meow, 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 meow. I don't know it. I don't know it. The circle of life. Himanyani Nirababa. I always liked uh Hakuna Matata, because like my favorite characters in Lion King were Timon and Pumbaa. They made me laugh. Eric and I were talking about Aladdin the other day and how like Robin Williams like killed it at that role, and how they probably let him like ad lib a lot of stuff, and then like drew the characters in the script, like made the script and the cartoon like around him. I think it was. I mean, obviously, Mrs. Doubtfire is probably his best movie. Like comedic movie. Like he was great in Good Will Hunting, but I like to think of Robin Williams as a comedic actor more than well, I don't know. He's done some dramatic stuff too, but he was really good in Aladdin. Oh, I didn't see the Will Smith one either. That's not what I was referring to. I was totally we were talking about how in the oh, I did see 1 hour photo, Misfortune. I have. I have. He also played in this movie. He also played. It was the movie's called World's Greatest Dad. And did you like it? I felt weird about it. I wasn't really. I guess I wasn't really into it. Flubber. Flubber was good. I was a little bit older when that came out, though. You were too. You were too, Ruben, huh? No, I'm just kidding. I just didn't. I didn't. I was so used to the old Flubber, the one from the '60s, that I like didn't really have an interest in seeing Flubber. But one time when my brother was getting his braces fixed, um, I was waiting in the waiting room with my sister and my mom, and um, Flubber was on the television, and I watched it. And I thought it was cute. It was funny. He was good in that. He was good in Flubber. I know it was supposed to make you feel weird. I just don't know. I remember it a little bit. 1 hour photo, but and I think I don't know. I don't know if I liked it. Oh man, '60s Flubber. Let me find out. 1960s Flubber. Blah blah blah. 1961 Disney film. Hmm. Oh, actually, Flubber was called The Absent-Minded Professor. And I guess they changed the title to Flubber. Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire was my favorite too. I guess they changed it to Flubber for the Disney film. Yeah. So let me find out. Absent minded professor. Who was in it? Fred McMurray. I think he was pretty big for that time, Fred McMurray. I don't think that he's in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Boba Fett, I'm not sure. That's so funny, Rubenar, because those are the parts that I remember too. when he makes the flubber originally, and then it's like bouncing all over the place in his science room, his science lab. Yeah, it was. Clearly it made some impression on me because I remember it now and where I was when I watched it, and probably was like okay with watching it. You miss 90s movies? Do you call it a lab, Adam Burgess? Science room. Steve Martin is cool beans. Who's an evil liar? Adam Burgess. Um, Mysteries in the Building with Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez is actually really good. I highly recommend it if you have Hulu. I think that's where we watched it. It's like interesting. It's really really interesting, and so Eric believes that Steve Martin is an INFJ, and I agree with him. Um, for a long time, I thought that Steve Martin was an ENTJ because, like, online, that's what he's like typed as in some places. But I agree that I think that he is an NI-DOM. Pandemic? Do you mean pandemic room? Yo, I'm not gonna front. For instance, Steve Martin's pretty good, but honestly not very funny to me. He is, I think he's good. I think he is endearing. I think he's more endearing than funny. I always like, he entertained me as a kid. Like, I liked Steve Martin. I've always liked Steve Martin stuff. I thought Shop Girl, uh the I never read the book, but I saw the movie and I thought it was pretty good. Um but Two Wild and Crazy Guys is like from SNL is not a good sketch. Like it's so dated. And I can only think of like, so like I don't know like what I think his reactions to things are funny. Like when, like in Father of the Bride, when like shit is going down, and he's like unable to like deal with what's going on in his life. I think oh um yeah, he was great in Cheaper Bread a Dozen. Um I think his reactions in Father of the Bride to like the craziness that's going around is so funny because it's so relatable. Like like having like all these people in your face, and then like driving off and like trying to like and like hating the guy that like your daughter's marrying just because you wish Steve Martin was your dad's misfortune. That's funny. I did not know that. Adam Burgess. Having a pedantic pedantic. Oh, pedantic. You have a pedantic room? Some people should have a pedantic room because they definitely should. There so like you could be friends with someone and like express yourself only so much, right? Like that friend who has like this like ongoing problem that just like persists, and he goes to his friends about it. He or she goes to their friends about it. Their friends are going to get sick and tired of hearing about the same subject over and over if nothing's being done about it, especially if you've got like a bunch of like listeners. So if someone had a pin, I forget how you say it. Now I can only think of pin. Three Amigos is great. Um, yeah, I can only think of pandemic now. But yeah, I do think that's when people should have a pedantic, pedantic room. Like go to your pedantic room and be pedantic. Larry Hubbard, who pens greeting cards for a living, is lonely after his longtime girlfriend's infidelity leads to an end of their relationship. Huh. Uh, Trouble's being trouble. Or PP went inside. Probably more like PP went inside. Oh, it is you. You want me to go to bed now. I'm gonna go to bed soon. Oh, meow. I will. I'm coming. I'm coming. Well, he nailed it in Cheaper by the Dozen, definitely. I think he was in that with Bonnie Hunt. They have a lot of chemistry, but I didn't really like any of the kids in the movie. So, like, it's not one of my favorites. Um, but like, I love him in Father of the Bride. Like, that was one of the first movies that I've seen with him in it. Maybe either that or Three Amigos. I was young when I saw Three Amigos too. Oh, Hilary Duff was in it. See, I don't really think she's that great of an actress. She's done well for herself. Like, she's gotten some really good gigs, but I don't think she's the best actress. I think she's kind of a one trick pony a little bit. She's fine. Like she definitely works. Her trick is being attractive. I think that's her trick. She's also like very like not in the tabloids. Like you don't ever catch her smoking anything. You don't really catch her drunk anywhere. Um, yeah. Yeah, I think she's popular for being attractive. I don't think that she's popular uh for being a good actress because she's not. Yeah, she's talented. She's very talented at being attractive. Exactly, Rubenar. Like that's what she is. There's some actresses and actors who get roles because of their looks. I didn't watch Lizzie McGuire. I wasn't really interested. I said attractive. I don't know if she's hot. Like I don't I don't know like people's degrees of hotness. Like I'm like so like I can't judge for some reason like hotness from like there are games that people play where like they'll be like, is this actress guy hot or girl hot? And I forget like I forget who they said was girl hot. I was a snob. When I was so Lizzie McGuire was popular when I was a freshman in college. So like I was kind of a snob. Like when it came to Lizzie McGuire, I was like Lizzie McGuire. I could be watching like MTV right now. Like I am not going to be watching Lizzie McGuire. So I can't. I've never really watched uh, Lizzie McGuire. Oh, you watched it when you babysat. See, I have shows like that when I babysat um, people too. Oh no, not Skins. It was all like the reality TV shows, and they had like they played music videos on MTV at the time. Like I think TRL was still a thing. I didn't watch TRL at the time. I was more into like I used to watch The Real World. I used to watch Road Rules when that was on. Um, I used to watch TRL when I was a teen, like when I was early teen, tween, early teen, when Carson Daly was the host. Um, but I watched music videos on MTV. I didn't have a lot of like ways of finding new music at the time, like when I was a freshman in particular. So I would watch MTV, but I used to what are the like Pimp My Ride was on that show with Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson that was on The Married Life or something. Um, Yeah, Mandy Moore is pretty big on MTV. No, TLC was done by then. I used to watch when TLC was on, like VH1 countdowns. That's what I used to watch a lot when I was like 13, 14. I used to watch a lot of like pop-up video and top 10 countdowns. So I've always been like very interested in anything entertainment, pretty much. Yeah. Well, I was a freshman in 2003, so they weren't playing. They played Britney Toxic. They played Britney Toxic a lot. They played Hey Ya by uh Outcast a lot. Um that song like Where Are You? Like that one from Blink 182. Crimea River was on a lot in like 2002. Yeah, Rock Your Body. The shadow in the background of the morgue. Yeah, suspected victim. Yeah, totally. No, Mr. Bobby. Well, see, like, I never hated Justin Timberlake until I found out that he's a really terrible tipper. Like, he's terrible. I miss you. Yeah, exactly. Um, no, I don't like Jennifer Lopez, but I was sad that when Benifer first broke up because like he like I think he cheated on her, so I felt bad. But I never liked Jennifer Lopez. I liked her in shit. What was that movie? The Wedding Planner, and the other one with uh what's her name? God, oh my gosh, what's her name? Where she's like the like mother-in-law, step monster. Is that it? She was good in that monster-in-law. Yeah, yeah. Mr. Bobby Timberlake is a really bad tipper, and he's really, really, really rude to wait staff. Like on more than one occasion, I've heard of Justin Timberlake having like a horrible reputation. Um, Even though he has his own restaurant, he treats wait staff like crap. And it's so bad that like when he comes into a restaurant, people like are very hesitant to take his table because he's so difficult. No, I'm not, Mr. Bobby. I'm telling you, I know for a fact like that Justin Tim okay. I know based on information and people in like the restaurant industry, like they're telling the stories of Justin Timberlake being he and Jessica Biel are terrible, like terrible to wait staff, and they're not good tippers. Yeah, he seems like a really like, well, he's not a decent guy because he's cheated on Jessica Biel like 3 times. So he's really not that great of a guy. You watched The Jerk with my dad a few years ago. It's kind of decent. Yeah, I like The Jerk. The part that I remember the most from The Jerk is the ending, though. Bernadette Peters is really good in it too. Yeah, he's definitely no. If side chic, no, he definitely thinks that he's above us. That's for sure. I'm It's totally true. Oh my gosh. No, he definitely is cheated. He apologized for like he apologized for it. He's a real like he's a real piece of work. He's also a piece of work, Mr. Justin Timberlake. I mean, he's multiple times. It's not only one time that this has happened with Justin Timberlake where he's been at a club and he gets a little bit too close. Freaks and Geeks is a great show. Oh man, I don't know, Mr. Bobby. I wouldn't believe that. He's a piece. He's not like an all-American like he's yeah, when he's the Napster guy in Social Network on Coke. Yeah, he's I'm telling you, JT is not that great of a guy. He's really not. He's really not. I mean, when you okay, so when you're alleged to have cheated 3 times and he I just I'm not a fan of anyone who treats waits because I've been a server and I've worked in restaurants before, so like I know how like hard it is. So for anyone who's like not good to wait staff is gonna rub me the wrong way. But that's just my opinion. I don't think he did anything to Brittany. I think when they were together, they were pretty serious. But she cheated on him with the dance instructor for both NSYNC and for Britney Spears. It was a mess. That was a mess. And then came Cry Me a River. Oh, Federline. See, that's why where like sometimes the past is not better. Yeah, no, he was she Brittany messed up. Brittany messed up big time. And she hasn't really like found anyone else since. Like she's married now, and I hope that the guy like treats her well. But like sometimes I don't know. Yeah, yo, totally CG O'Connell, you nailed it. I could see JT being a huge so-called fuckboy, as the kids say these days. Lamau, shaking my head, 100%. Yeah, totally. He totally is. I mean, he was sort of like that when he was in Sync. He's like he's known for kind of like being a jerk. Like he kind of thinks he's better than people. I mean, he's very talented, but he I don't know. Just like I don't really side with him or Brittany. I think that they're both like talented musicians. Or well, I think he's more of a power. I think he's more of a talented musician. She's more of a big pop star. Um, and they both have a lot of money, so that's good. I mean, you you can have cool qualities and be I don't know. He's not cool to me. I don't think. Yeah, he be making that one face like that emoji. He does do that weird shit. Like he tries to be funny so much. Like no, I don't think that Harry Styles will match up to Justin Timberlake. I don't think that Harry Styles should even be like famous really. Like I only know the one song of his. Dick in a Box was hilarious, but I mean that's what I mean is that like he like ever since Dick in a Box came out, like he like just thinks he's so funny, you know? And that wasn't all him. That was Andy Samberg too. I mean, so like he's kind of try hard, you know? Like he has like he like Justin Timberlake is he's a try hard, but I don't really buy it. I don't really buy it, but you know, it's whatever. Thanks, Mr. Bobby. I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this song. Oh god. That was even before Sexy Back came out. Thanks, Mr. Bobby. I've really like for years, I like read Crazy Days and Nights and like Leany Gossip and all this other stuff about like famous people. Um, because I thought it was fascinating. Like, I really liked reading blind items, you know, where they would talk about a celebrity and you had to guess like who the celebrity was, who the blind item was about. Oh my gosh, Misfortune, you have? Oh my god, Crazy Days and Nights is fucking. It's honestly addictive. Like, I'm glad to see Geocon. That's good to know. I mean, I definitely see the thing is I've seen a lot of things and like read a lot of um, pop culture stuff, but my SI is bad. So I remember some of the stuff, like stuff about like cheating and stuff that like really like bothers me. So I remember that. Um, like when Liam like um yeah, I guess that's like my main MO with like celebrity gossip. But when like mm, I definitely do have to refresh before the videos because I don't think I would be live talking about pop culture stuff. I would make it like ahead of time. Yeah. And then talk about what I know. Like I would That's hysterical. Also, Bobby JT is just the kind of guy that would be, as my mom says, fresh. He tries to be fresh. I need an editor. Oh God, all that shit, all that shit. Oh. I'm blonde adjacent too. I was born blonde, but my hair got darker as I got older. Eric's in bed. He's tired, so he went to bed. Show media. I'm still. I'm not tired. Yes, he's in bed. Yeah, he's getting his SI on. Yeah, I know. It is a first. I haven't taken my medicine though. But yeah, I usually do go to bed first because I love to sleep. Oh, thanks, Boba Fett. I appreciate that. What have you guys been Googling lately? Like, I've been really into numerology lately. In 2006, Sexy Back was definitely one of my top songs too, Mr. Bobby, in 2006. Oh, Voltology. Voltology does not like me, let me tell you. When I read Voltology and I like see like read stuff about like my facial features or like because it has to do with wait, what is Voltology exactly? Is it hand movements and like um telling if someone's lying or not? I forget. Or is it just like read face reading and body reading? The body language of types. That's pretty difficult. I like I think there are things that I've learned through voltology adjacent things. Um, and it is interesting the way that, like, yeah, yeah. Um, I like, like, I like body language stuff. Like I like learning how to um like sit a certain way or like pay attention a certain way. I think that's FE, I guess. Like I like to know before or like while I'm talking to someone, like I do watch their feet because they say like when the person is interested in you, they'll point their feet towards you, but if they point them away, then they are not interested in you. It's like the fucking weird. Like, is that true? Is that true? Do you does a person point their feet towards people that they like, or do some people just like he's asleep? I think it'd be better if you like Club Ian STFP talk to um Eric troll. People point their feet unconsciously towards where they want to be. Oh my gosh, that has me looking at like pictures though. So like this one picture in particular. So I saw my family. It'll be 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago in August. Um, and there's a picture of me talking to my cousin. At the time, I thought she was like totally into what I was saying, but I looked back at the picture and her feet were pointing away from me. And I was like, holy shit, my cousin didn't want to be talking to me. Holy shit. Like, I didn't catch the social cues by facial cues or anything. I didn't notice at the time. Yeah, like I when I'm very comfortable and I'm listening to someone in a conversation, I tend to cross my legs. It's the position I find most comfortable sometimes. But see, Ruben Art, I've read that too. You can see when someone likes you by looking into their pupils, they'll be dilating to take in more. Um, that's true, but like Eric's eyes are more dilated when he's on speed than when he's not. So there are certain things that like contribute to dilated pupils. Um, yeah, unless they're on drugs. Oh my gosh. Well, I do believe. Okay, so like this is interesting. This like guy that I dated, I can't even remember his last name. I can't believe that. I can't believe that I don't remember his last name. um, like when we first met, his face would face towards me, but his body was facing towards the bar. So like in looking back, I was like, holy crap, like either I was just ignoring the signs, which I probably was, or yeah, but I think he was into the bartender because he was at the bar to see, but I don't fucking know. So his face was facing me, but his body was facing the bar, and I to like to this day it, like feels odd to me because his disinterest in me was so clear and evident, and I like basically like willed it to happen. I don't even know. Well, it's just better to like say these things when Eric's here. Like, I mean, it just makes sense. Here's another one, another good one. Oh, please, please. Here's another one. If you catch someone's eye and they look away, looking to the side is normal, but if you look down, they're embarrassed you caught them. That's me. That's so me. I can't keep contact with people, especially if I'm like if they like catch me looking. But that's definitely true for me. Hmm. Rachel, what does it mean if someone looks at your mouth as you talk? I heard that's a sign they're into you. I've never heard that. I didn't know that. Oh, like possible slight ESFP vibes, dog. Yeah, what's your belly button? Is that your. What chakra is that? What's your belly button? Is it your sacral chakra or your solar plexus? Oh my gosh. Sometimes, like, you can tell, oh my god, sometimes I'm so, yeah, ooh, chakras. Is it sacral? And solar plexus is like right above the belly button. Misfortune, you think? The belly button is third eye. Okay. I mean, that makes sense for it to be sacral chakra. I guess. Oh no. Do we know? I don't. Yes, we do know what the fourth eye is, Ruminar. You're right. Mr. Bobby says, I love sensing if co stars in a movie or TV show are into each other. I do too. Like, we were watching Cobra Kai, and I was saying how, like, I wanted two characters to get together, but that I thought that the main character had more chemistry, or, like, she, like, liked the other guy more. I don't know. You know, about stars getting together with their co-stars, Brad Pitt has dated almost all of his co-stars. The only one that wasn't, there were like two girlfriends that um weren't co-stars. One of them including Jennifer Aniston. They were like, they hooked up through their like managers or their agent. I think they're agents, and or their managers. I don't remember if it was their manager or agent, but Brad Pitt met Jennifer Aniston through other means than being co-star. And Bradley Pitt, I have no freaking clue what type he is. Everyone online says ISFP, but I have a real big he might be, but he's pretty like fine during interviews. I don't know. I don't know what type he is. I have no freaking clue. I don't know what Angelina Jolie is either. Boba Fett's right. The type that he is handsome. You think he's an ISTP? He might be ENFJ. Okay, so I heard this about Brad Pitt. I heard that he, as a prank, he and Angelina Jolie, as a prank, cut out deli meat, took deli meat, cut out the eye holes, and put them on their makeup artist's face. Is that okay? That's like okay, or like no go? I can't decide. I can't decide how I feel about it because I feel like that would be a mistake that I would make too. That I would think that it would be funny, haha, to like put like deli meat on my makeup artist if we're close. But if like they're just like doing their job and they're there just to do their job, then maybe don't put deli meat on their face. It's probably cooler to not put it on their face. Probably is my guess. But I heard that they did that recently. I've heard stuff about Brad Pitt and uh, he, I don't know, he could be ISTP. I have no idea. See, but like, I don't know. I don't know. Mm. But yeah, he like basically like falls in love on set with every girl he like has a romantic partnership with. I don't think anymore, but uh, He does have the soupy, big old soupy eyes. So would that make him an intuitive though, Rubinar? ISTP. He could be ISTP. ISTPs aren't that good with lines though. Like if you think about Tom Cruise, like Tom Cruise doesn't talk a lot. But maybe he doesn't talk a lot either. He is awkward during interviews. He could be ISTP. But he's like, he could, I don't know what the fuck he is. It's so hard to tell. Like, we'll put NI in the top stack. JT, we think, is, so JT, I've talked about it with Eric before, and Eric used to think that JT was an ESTP, but after I told him about his bad behavior with wait staff, um, he's come to the conclusion that he's probably an ENFJ, and I think that makes sense. I think he's an E. I think JT is an ENFJ as well. I don't know what type Keanu is. I have no idea. It's so hard to type when you don't have like question and answer. Yeah, you have to. I'm telling you, you're gonna find it. You're gonna, if you look for Justin Timberlake's route to wait staff, you will definitely come up with something. I'm telling you. Who's a chill ESTP? That sucks, Mr. Bobby. That sucks that James Corden is a total douche to waiters. That's not cool. It really shows you what they think of themselves. Well, yeah, Pete Davidson does have big eyes. I could see him as an ISTP. He didn't do a lot of. He couldn't remember his lines on SNL. Maybe FP. He could be ISFP too. He's probably. He could be ISFP. Any polar. I mean, he quit SNL probably. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't say he. Well, he's like not on SNL anymore, right? He quit. Which maybe makes him an ISTP. He has anger issues too, but he seems more FI, so maybe an ISFP he could be. He could be. He falls fast. I mean, he's definitely borderline personality disorder. He's not known. He's known for having a temper. Yeah, he could be an ISFP. Shia LaBeouf is just exactly that. He is Shia LaBeouf. Pete Davidson's not funny. Like, he's just. I saw him in this
Netflix movie, and he was good as like the second guy, like not the main role guy, but like the roommate. And I was like, all right, like that's like I could buy that, but Pete Davidson does suck. He's abusive. He's abusive. Mm. Hi. Pete Davidson doesn't stand out. But Shia is supposed to be extremely, like, Shia is extreme. He's he's known for like, I don't know, being extremely quirky. What was the last movie that Shia LaBeouf has been in? I don't know what Nick Cage is. It's like insanely difficult to like, as much as I ask myself these same questions, like who, like, what type is Myah? I like still can't judge from their work because they're acting. So if 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 there's like a reoccurring pattern and they get typecast as something, then they probably are like that in real life, because that's not acting, that's just being yourself and people writing around that. Peanut Butter Falcon with Dakota Johnson? Oh. How was that? It was cutesy? That sounds interesting. Afraid of Nicolas Cage. What would it be? The only thing that I know about Nicolas Cage is that he's related to the Coppolas. And that's pretty cool, because if you're related to a Coppola, you're probably going to get famous somehow. So I'm pretty sure most of them, not most of them, but like some, like I think, what's his name? There's another actor. Francis Nicholas Coppola, starring in the next big film that is coming out soon, but it's going to be only on streaming, so you could watch it there. And then we can type him. Oh, I mean, I don't know what he means by Nick Cage. I think that was kind of just like tossed out there. City of Angels was a remake? Did not know that. Nicolas Cage isn't that good of an actor, in my opinion. Oh, Lord of War, yeah, I've seen that. That was insane. I thought it was good. He, I guess he was good in that. He was good in Lord of War. What's that one that he was in with Cher? Moonlight? I've never seen the whole thing of that either. Der Himmel über Berlin, Wings of Desire. Damn. So they made an American remake of that? Ugh, that never turns out well. Yeah, actually, Karma's Pimp. That's what we actually were talking about. Raising Air. I think Eric mentioned that Raising Arizona was good. We can like. I don't know how much. Wow, that's big. I only saw it for the first time like 2 years ago, and it immediately became one of my favorite movies of all time, 100%. I mean, it's pretty existential and it's long too, but it's amazing. I can deal with that. I mean, wait, existential. What does that mean in a movie? Like, what makes a movie existential? Oh, meow. I'm gonna go to bed soon. I'm getting tired now, too. Oh, you hear all people's thoughts and stuff. That's interesting. Oh my god. That sounds. It does sound beautiful, actually. About an angel who falls in love with a beautiful woman and wants to be human. Oh, it sounds like kind of tragic, too. Nick Cave is into playing music? That's interesting. Mm. I can take heavy, I guess, a little bit, I guess. What, Mr. Bobby? Oh, Waking Life. Holy crap. That's a really good movie. I haven't watched that in years, over 10 years. I like, do I think John Travolta is gay? Yes, I do. I do, I do, I do. Ew. Misfortune, that's funny. I mean, there's been a lot of like, I mean, I just don't see him as being straight. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it at all. He is straight baiting. Linklater, yeah. And I was just gonna say, like, a good like romantic movie are the like, well, like trilogy is Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and After Midnight. Yes, Ruben R, you know the deal. Yep. And like Before Midnight, I think is the last one. So good. Eric says that it's an INFJ woman and an ENTP man, and that he thinks that oh, what's his name? Ethan Hawke is an ENTP in real life. Meow. I had a crush on John Travolta, and look who's talking. Little girly. I like Richard Linklater for some reason. I like Boyhood. I like School of Rock too. I didn't know that he made that. Yeah, yeah. Before Sunrise is. I actually found out about that movie through my sister. She went to she was abroad and she left her DVDs behind, and my ISFJ sister introduced me to that movie. Um, so I saw Before Sunrise and Before Sunset like back to back, and like I can still I can still watch those movies. And I actually really liked the last one too. I thought that because Ethan Hawke actually wrote it, and I thought he did a decent job. Like, I think he might have directed it. No, I don't know. He definitely wrote it though. School of Rock is great. Yeah, Ewan McGregor, I don't know what he is. Maybe an ESTP. Um, or an ISTP, actually. He could be ISTP. Uh, Really? So, Side Cheek says, I used to really love the Before series, but recently rewatched it with a friend and was cringing that I brought it up. Ethan seemed to play an outdated character. I guess that's charming in a way. Yeah, I mean, uh, that's sad that that's an outdated character. Because he's so, like, so endearing in that movie. Like, again, I keep on using that word tonight, but like, he really, I mean, he's so engaging when you're listening to him speak, and he takes a risk by being like, hey, like, I have a few hours to kill between flights. Let's hang out. And like, maybe it's outdated because people don't do that anymore. I don't know. Out of safety, I guess, maybe. But I don't know. There's something, it's really good. Is she insufferable? Do you think she's insufferable because of like the way that she gets angry over things? Yeah, he's definitely charming in it. So like, what is a charming man dead? That's incredibly sad. Mansplaining? See, I didn't see any mansplaining. I thought, in my opinion, they shared the same kind of space pretty equally. Julie Dupley and Ethan Hawke. I've never seen The Black Phone. Uh, it's not really. I guess it's coming of age. It's not really though. It's just two people who find each other interesting and get to learn about each other before sunrise. Right? Yeah, before sunrise. Two people who are coming of age. Hmm. Maybe that's why it was so good that the script was written by Richard Linklater and a woman. Because I think of Richard Linklater as being pretty cerebral. Well, at least in some of his work. And Boyhood wasn't that cerebral. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, C.J. O'Connell. She was, I wonder why she was written that way. So, Before Midnight was directed by Richard Linklater, who co-wrote the screenplay with Ethan Hawke. So I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, I think they're trying to like insinuate that something happened. C.J. O'Connell. Um, but it just comes off as she's making assumptions about her husband, about Ethan Hawke and this woman who he worked with on a book, something like that. Forget exactly. So like we're supposed to have sympathy because like but she just like she is insufferable. You're right. It's true. She really is at the end. That it just like it takes such a turn. Ethan Hawke is a good man. Okay. I think he is too. I think that he just doesn't like say he is a very likable guy. And I'm like very much a fan of um oh my god, Training Day. First Reform, never heard of it. Amanda Seyfried has some acting chops, I believe. It seems. I don't know many of her movies, but she seems to she gets work. And she gets some accolades for her work, so she must be pretty good. I really liked Heather's. Heather's was like way not what I thought it was gonna be at all. I first saw Heather's like 3-4 years ago. No. Yeah. So yeah, being a darker film did work in its favor. It was good. I liked it. I liked. It's kind of like environmental stuff comes up in a really crucial way, but it's actually really good. Happy birthday! Show media, happy belated birthday. INFP HD. I'll keep it in mind. I'll make a note of it. Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter, who's in Stranger Things, is really good too. She seems down to earth and cool. What is it? INFP. Okay, INFP HD. All right, I'll definitely bring it up to Eric. We'll see. Well, I'll probably look into it on my own, but I'll definitely bring it up to Eric. All right, guys, I am withering. I can't stay up anymore. I'm starting to get tired. But it was like totally good to chill with all of you. Thank you so much for staying around. I super appreciate it. Yeah, Heather's is pretty good. Winston's mom thought he was type. Oh yeah, Little Mermaid reaction. Sure. I might forget, but I'll write it down. I'll write that down too. Little Mermaid reaction. Done. I definitely have time. As long as we have power. I'll take one more bong rip and then I'm out. Gotta go to bed. I have to take my medicine. I'll see if Eric wants some too. Oh, Boba Fett. Trouble, are you giving Daddy a hard time? I told you. I'm sorry that I've been taking a long time. One more thing. So, what do you guys think about when astrology tells a person whether they like should eat certain things or like stay away from drugs and alcohol? Like if it says that in their birth chart, like what do you think? Do you think that that stuff is valid, or do you think that it's just like, because like I find like that like anything that has to do with like um Neptune automatically like means like like drugs and alcohol are bad because of the illusions. But I so like in my birth chart it says there's somewhere in there that says uh that I shouldn't smoke, drink, or do drugs. But I love weed, so it's like yeah, they do have a therapeutic value. And I really like ketamine too. I don't mind dissociating. I am in the 16th club. It is Thursday. They are all actions and patterns of behavior, but I mean, I just don't think it's fair. I don't like throwing up. I would do mushrooms if I a lot more if I didn't throw up, but I throw up and I don't like to throw up. Yeah, but see, but like, I'm definitely not gonna take acid. I am too into control for acid. But I liked ketamine. See, like, I don't know, but I like. Yeah, suggestions are definitely where it's at. I mean, that's how I always took it as like my birth chart. Like I took it as like suggestion, but like some of it's just downright mean, and also some of it like highly like favors certain types rather than others. Like for instance, Libra. Libra is like way favored. Leo is favored too. Like most people, when they hear that they're like an air sign or an earth, or not an earth sign, an air sign or a fire sign, are usually happy. Yeah.
Libras like being Libras. They're popular. I have Libra ascendant. That's how I know. And then like Pisces gets to be like the drug addict who can't go anywhere in life because they have no ambition. Uh-oh. Cancer is the crab. Like like that too. Like calling someone Cancer. Like a lot of Cancers don't like being Cancers because of their name, because it's associated with such like a poopy thing. But MBTI has cognitive functions which you can actually test. Like side cheek, I'm gonna read something from AstroWin that talks about my birth chart and like tell me if you would like to hear this about yourself if you read this in your birth chart. AstroWin birth chart free. Name RL January 16th, 1985, 2240, New York, Yonkers, and there we go. Okay, it's like one of the last things. Here we go. All right, I'm going to read you a part of my birth chart and tell me if you would like hearing about this about yourself. Your habits may annoy others. You may have bad manners, bad breath, or bad personal hygiene habits that irritate those around you. You could be lazy at times and you hate to get your hands dirty. You prefer other people doing the work while you sit around and reap the benefits or the glory. You know exactly how to tell people what they want to hear, regardless of whether it is really honest or not. You may have conflicting emotional desires and needs which complicate your personal life. Perhaps you are trying to please someone you care about so much so that you end up being some other person instead of yourself, becoming very unhappy in the process. You may have trouble figuring out. This is all so negative. Even when it goes to something positive, you are very warm and loving, but you must learn that you cannot possess anyone. We have all loved countless souls in our previous incarnations here on earth, and there are never a final farewell for love. You always are reunited with those you love. Anything to the contrary is an illusion. I mean, some of that definitely like resonates, but like, come on. Your habits may annoy others and you may have bad manners, bad breath, or bad personal hygiene habits that irritate those around you. Who wants to hear that about themselves? What the heck? Like, sorry, but not me. I mean, I used to be like
I used to not be, I was into astrology as a kid, then I wasn't into astrology. Then I was really hardcore into astrology. Now I'm like, just entertainment. It's like really entertainment because people like reading about themselves, you know? Juno. I got to interpret the angle they're coming from. Thanks for telling me that I smell and that I annoy people. Like, I never thought that about myself beforehand. But now, like, I think that because I read it and it's, you can't, like, take away. You can't just, like, erase it from your mind. I can't erase it from my mind. So, that's it. I'm tired. I need to take my medicine. I'm glad. CJ O'Connell. I don't even know what you held at. I have a Libra rising, Boba Fett. I'm a Capricorn. Yeah, medicine, medicine. I'm an INFJ, so I have trouble ending things. It's your rising sign is the sign that rises on the east when you were born. So like the big three are your sun, moon, and your rising sign. My generic sign is Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. Oh my god, I'm terrible at ending things. I mean, at finishing conversations and stuff, like now. Yeah, like really though. Like thanks for telling me that. This website, astrowind.org. Oh my gosh, like that kind of anger, Scorpio rising movie. Spook. Yeah. I smell bad. Oh my god, I don't know the author. Just go to astrowin.com. Oh man, CJ. Wait, I have a question for you though. When are you gonna stream? Oh, Boba Fett, Jinx. Oh, thanks, Show Media. What song is that? Oh shit. I don't even know. time it is. Well, only do it if you really want to, right? Like, if you don't feel like it, then how? Oh my god. I feel like I'm opening a can of worms. What? Yeah, what song are you singing? Alright, hold on. I'll be back. Child, I'm gonna go to bed soon. When I think of Holly Weird, I think of Shia LaBeouf. Oh my gosh, I am not singing right now. um, so what do you guys think about like generational stuff? Like I read today that like when each generation starts and stops. It's pretty interesting. Interesting. Let me see if I can find. Um, okay, so the silent generation is from 1928 to 1945. And then the baby boomers are from 1946 to 1964. That's my parents. Then Gen X is born 1965 to 1980. That's Eric. Born 1981 to 1996. That's millennial, that's me. I'm 85. Born 1997 to 2012 is Gen Z. We're barely still here, Alan Reed. I'm on my way out, actually. I just have trouble, like, ending things. I'm bad at wrapping things up without being, like, blunt. The other one that I've read, though, said that, yeah. That's interesting, Ellery. I'm Gen Z, guys, and it's quite sad how the other generations see us as sensitive. I get that. It's like not fair that millennials get the reputation of being entitled. Some weenus. You're right, side cheek. Alright. I think it's time to go. My beer's finished. I smoked my last bong rip. It's time to go to bed. Satchel health foods. I don't even know all the words to that. I'm like shot too. Like my voice is, I can hear it. All right. Good night, everyone. Sleep well. Hope to talk to you soon. It's cool next time, but please, Kay. Well, yeah, when Eric is up and we stream together. Next, we'll sing Satchel Helpful Goods. But only if he puts the lyrics on the screen, because I don't know the lyrics to that song. I haven't practiced that. Okay, with the new guitar, he definitely wants to play on the new guitar. So, good night, everyone. Sleep well. Bye. I'm glad you think it was good. I'll yes, INFP HD and other things I noted. Bye.